left thumb on top, it means you're extraordinary in bed.
Albert Einstein said that everything happens twice, first in your imagination and then in reality.
And the brain doesn't know the difference between something that you're vividly imagining in your mind and something that you're actually experiencing.
If I visualize the ideal outcomes over and over and over in my mind, then what tends to happen is my brain begins to look for information like it, because anything that you focus on consistently, you tell your brain that this is important, find more of it.
Its job is to keep an eye out for anything that you hold in your dominant focus. So it's kind of like a radar. Everybody do this with me? Everybody do this? Everybody do this and go. You're communicating to it, this is important, find more of it. Does that make sense? And so whatever you consistently focus on is where you move in the direction of.
Your brain is kind of like a heat-seeking missile that focuses at you in the direction that you're already focusing. And so we have to learn to use it intentionally. Your current reality is made up of your previous thoughts and emotions and actions and behaviors and habits, and it's just a manifestation of that. What's going to happen tomorrow in the next year or next 5 years of your life are the thoughts and the images and the feelings that you project beyond this. And this is why most people's lives don't change, is that they are just responding to their current environment. And as they respond to their current environment, they project their current environment, and then there's that cycle.
You may have heard that story about the Native American chief who's telling stories to the children of the tribe. And as he's telling this one story, he says there's a battle inside of every human being, a battle between two wolves. One wolf of anger, one wolf of fury, rage and hatred, and the other wolf is of love and happiness and peace and joy. And one little kid is leaning in and he's like, well, which one wins? And the Native American chief leans in and he says, whichever one you feed. Everybody turn to your neighbor, give him a high five and say, ow! Come on over here, I see some of you still playing it too cool. Let's go, get in here. And I decided to go on this 30-day media fast. You know what that is? For 30 days, you don't watch the news, you don't watch TV, you don't listen to the radio, you don't read newspapers, you get off social media. 30-day media fast. And so for 30 days, I decided, you know what? I'm not going to listen to any of that other stuff. I'm going to focus on positive, empowering information for 30 days. So after that 30 days, I remember feeling so inspired. And I went back to my job at the time and I said, I'm resigning. I don't know what's next, but I'm going to resign. And so I give my 2-week notice, and in that 2 weeks, I wasn't teaching what I was supposed to be teaching on technology upgrades and whatnot. I was actually teaching what I was learning out of all of these books, and my reps initially thought I went a little bit crazy, and I kind of did. But I remember they were really inspired, and on my last day there, I gave this big heartfelt speech to my team about success and failure, and we all cried it out and had some hugs. And then 3 of my reps come up to me afterward. They said, George, you should be a motivational speaker. George, you should be a motivational speaker. George, you should be a motivational speaker. And the 3rd time I heard it, something really clicked for me. I said, okay, I'll become a motivational speaker. I had no idea how I was going to go from the depressed corporate manager to a motivational speaker.
Okay, I'm just going to imagine this, audience here. Let me close my eyes. I'm going to imagine this audience. Okay, here I am. Maybe I'm on stage here. And I just began building the construct of my big vision that I had. So, okay, I'm 10,000, 20,000 people. I'm in an arena. This is big time. And I just began constructing it. I see the people, I begin to fill in color, like what are they wearing and their hair. I mean, go into the textures, like the temperature. What's the suit feel that's on my body? How do the shoes feel on my feet? How did the stage feel? What are the sounds like? And I just build it and I just construct it. And I just began going into these visualizations over and over and over again. And I would just continue to make it more and more real. And the more real it got, I realized that it was pulling me towards specific information, different books or Toastmasters.
Moving forward, about 4 years later, I started just a small training and coaching business that over the last 9 years has grown into an international company. I have clients all around the world, and I'm an author of 3 books, and I get the blessing of traveling around the country and meeting with really awesome people like you guys, and just sharing some information and some stuff that I've learned along the way in hopes that, hey, maybe you hear one thing, just one thing out of what I say today that can help you in your career or help you personally.
and these awesome folks have a very important message for you.